Hey my friends, it's a late Boy Scout. I'm out here in the dead of winter, in the middle of the night, to bring you this review of the Thrunite TN12 Flashlight. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of a field test, show you the modes, the features, talk about the specs, as well as talk about sort of the role that I see a flashlight like this fitting into. Stick around. So I want to begin by talking about the role that I see this flashlight fitting into, but before I even do that, I want to talk about some of the accessories that it comes with. Number one is this nylon pouch that it comes in. All right, it's pretty simple, it's pretty basic. It's got a little belt loop there on the back. I wouldn't recommend this for any kind of really hard use, but it would get the job done for most practical uses. A little D-ring clip on there, so you can obviously clip that onto various types of gear. Then of course a little Velcro opening to remove it. Elastic on either of the sides to help it kind of stay snugly inside of that pouch. The pouch works, don't really have a lot of complaints about it, but again, if I were going to use it for something really hard or serious, I would probably get a dedicated 1000D Cordura pouch to put this in. But that's just me. Other features, it comes with this pocket clip, which I think is absolutely useless. Yes, I do. You can swap this and put it on that knurling right there, that area here, and then possibly use it with all that sticking out of your pocket. But it's difficult to get onto that sort of knurling area up there because this is the only real cleared spot for it that is empty of knurling or blank of knurling where it fits properly. But there is nothing, I mean, could you imagine having that, all of that sticking out of your pocket right there? All of that poking out? Or if you flip that pocket clip around and have it going this way, could you imagine having all of that sticking out of your pocket? So in my opinion, that pocket clip is relatively useless. I think they threw it in there just, you know, so they could say it includes a pocket clip, but I really don't see that being used at all. I would keep a flashlight like this in a pouch or in a backpack pretty much the whole time, and it would do just fine in there, so I don't really see the point of the pocket clip. I wouldn't use it. But I put it on there so you could see it. Then it comes with a little lanyard that you can easily put on, thread through that little loop right there at the base of the clicker right there. So that's pretty useful, I think, actually, and if I were going to use this and keep it in a bag or something like that, I would definitely keep this on here so that I could have an easier time reaching for it, pulling it out. I would actually use that instead of the pocket clip, loop that around my wrist. Then, you know, if I have to let go of it, I can't use it for a second, I just drop it. I don't lose it because it's on my wrist. Then when I'm ready for it again, I just reach up and grab it. It doesn't really stop you from using it in any position either. You can rotate that around, hold it this way, easily still use the light. So no reason not to use the lanyard in my opinion. Unless, you know, perhaps the dedicated use that you've got in mind for it would actually make that, you know, put that in the way in some fashion. Well, let's go on to the role that I see this flashlight fitting into. I see this as pretty much a dedicated tactical light, you know, something that you would use, a police officer might use as a duty light. At a max output of 1050 lumens, it seems adequate at least for that kind of role, maybe very, very good for that kind of role. I could also see this working as a very lightweight, that is to say, hunting flashlight, something that you could shine way out into the distance at maybe as far as 200 yards to identify game. And yeah, I do think that this would go out and help you identify game at 200 yards, especially when coyotes will tend to kind of turn to the light, show you their eyes, which reflect back at you, and then you've got your target. Other animals would probably do that as well. So in the dark, like I'm in right now, this flashlight would actually be pretty useful for identifying game, in my opinion. Not a big hunting expert, but that's kind of what I would envision it being used as. So those are the two roles I see it fitting into pretty well. Again, kind of a soldier's or police officer's flashlight, and some kind of a lightweight hunting or outdoors flashlight where you want sort of maximum power and maximum throw in a small package. It's multi-mode, of course, with the lowest mode at 0.3 lumens, and it's meant to hold that for 1,585 hours, a pretty long time. Next mode up is 20 lumens, 74 hours is how long it's supposed to hold that. Next one up from that is 280 lumens, which it should hold for 5 hours, then 800 lumens, which it's meant to hold for an hour and a half, followed by 1050 lumens, as I mentioned before, that it should hold for 90 minutes, which is also an hour and a half. That doesn't follow, but anyway, that's what the material says. To cycle through the various modes on the TN12, you simply press that forward selector switch, which takes you from the lowest all the way up to the highest sequentially. Then if you want to go into that strobe mode, you would just hold that button down for about a second. It goes into that strobe and you're set. I've got a reflective jacket set up way down that road, which you cannot see right now, and I have the flashlight on the lowest mode, so you won't be able to see it for sure, but we're going to cycle through these modes sequentially from lowest to highest and see when we spot that reflective jacket. Let's go ahead and click one up. You can already see it. There it is. You can catch that reflection. If that were a coyote's eyes, you might be able to see him right now. If we move up, obviously ridiculously brighter. Okay, so you're not only seeing his eyes, but you're getting some of his form now. And one up above that, if we can find the switch, there it is. So you are getting a good shot of the entire valley there. And one more. I think that's the top mode actually, which is pretty much disabled at the moment. But it would be only slightly brighter than this mode is right now. So it would make a good tactical light for surveying an area, getting a feel of what's around you, as well as a pretty decent lightweight hunting light for identifying your prey in the night. Now the TN12 can use either one 18650 battery, this is a rechargeable one branded by Thrunite, or two of these CR123A batteries. This was actually a Streamlight branded one. Any brand will work. I love that versatility. I love that if this is going to be a working light that you use really frequently, then you can have these rechargeable batteries for it and not waste the money, and you can just recharge this each day or each night or each week or whenever you need to. And that can be a big money saver over time if you use this as frequently as someone might need to use it for the intended purpose. The flashlight weighs about 82 grams without batteries. I think it's a good weight for all the intended uses. It's a good size as well, at about 143 millimeters long, about 25.5 millimeters wide. The Cree XM-L2U2 LED has a lifespan of basically forever, 50,000 hours. The glass lens on the TN12 is toughened, according to Thrunite. I don't know if that's the same thing as tempered by their definition. But the reflector is smooth rather than sort of that orange peel texture, which is going to give you a different kind of a beam and throw, perhaps better for the type of use that this flashlight, I believe, is intended for. Now, Thrunite did send me this TN12 as well as a battery kit that I could use with it to test and review for you guys. Now, obviously, I haven't put it through any sort of abuse tests or any kind of a torture test to really see what it can hold up to, but this feels like a very solid light, and I'm confident that it would do exceedingly well in the roles that I described. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in and watching this video. You can, of course, find the Thrunite TN12 on places like Amazon.com and probably other sources online. You can find the price there and decide for yourself if a flashlight like this fits into your system and if it's worth it for you. Thanks very much for watching. I'm the Late Boy Scout. See y'all later.
Buy my Velcro-backed patches using the links below, and go to Blade HQ for the exclusive Knife Love t-shirt.
It's got some glow material in there that makes it so that it glows from the light that is being sent out of the emitter. That if you have your flashlight running for a while, you turn it off or you drop it or something like that and it gets turned off, it's way easier to find.